It's not possible. I didn't say it would be easy, Neo.
Committee on Parole is called back to order. The time is 12:07. Our next case is Miss Leanne Yoakum. Ms. Yoakum, if you would please give us your full name and DOC number.
Leanne Yoakum, 521-431.
Thank you very much. Ms. Yoakum, let me explain our process to you. First, I'm going to read some information into the record, and we're going to conduct a parole interview with you. At the appropriate time, we will allow those persons who wish to have input to speak. You have a number of people here at headquarters who are here in support of you. Getting an updated, so I guess there's more people coming in. And I want to go ahead and put on the record those people who wish to speak or who are present on your behalf. Moraz Stanislav with the Tulane Law Clinic is here to speak on your behalf. Christy Sheremy with the Louisiana Parole Project is here to speak on your behalf. You have also here, not speaking, but here present for support is Richard Talcott, Jamie Talcott, Joshua Adams, Dimitri Moore, Emily Beasley, Molly Sullivan, Stephanie King, Sabrina Monaco, Carolyn Davis, Carolyn Adams, Beatrice Taylor, Sandra Starr, Lorraine Lamelli, Malcolm Harris, Marnia Parks, Carolyn Adams, and Stephanie King are all here to support you. At the end of our hearing, you'll have an opportunity to say whatever it is you'd like to say, and then the panel will vote. Do you understand our process?
Yes, sir.
Are there other people there to support you? I saw someone carrying some books. Is there a lawyer there for you?
Yes, sir.
Who is your lawyer? I don't know that I have your lawyer here. Who is
good? I apologize. Good morning. I'm the supervising attorney from the Tulane Law Clinic, Stanislav Moroz, and then the student attorney who will be speaking is right here, Daniela Sims. And we also have additional member of our legal team, student attorney Deja Wells. And then we have two supporters here as well. I don't know if you'd like them to introduce themselves or.
Yes, please. I'd like to get them all on the record. Whoever's there, I'd like to get them on the record.
Hi, my name is Lorraine Erdman.
My name is Sandra Starr Pirro.
Thank you. And is it my understanding Miss Daniela Sims will be speaking on behalf of Miss Yoakum?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. Did I miss anybody? I can't see everybody in the corner. Did everyone get to put their names on the record?
Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Everyone did. Would it be possible? I just wanted to clarify who the speakers will be. I think I just want to make sure we had it accurate. It will be Richard Talcott at headquarters and Christy Sheremy.
Okay. I have Miss Sheremy. Who's the other speaker?
Richard Talcott, who is.
I got him. Okay. I have him here, but I didn't have him as a speaker, but we'll put him on as a speaker.
Yes, sir. And then from here, Ms. Star Perot will speak as a supporter.
And we did have one extra LCIW staff member. Dr. Amanda Lee is here as well.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Now, who was the other person, Mr. Stanislav? Right before.
Sandra Star Perot.
Sandra Starr. Okay, I have that here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think we're ready to proceed. This is the matter of Leanne T. Yoakum, DOC number 521-431. Date of birth, November the 1st of 1985. She's classified as a first felony offender. She has a parole eligibility date of June the 27th of 2024, an adjusted good time date of January the 8th of 2029. She has a full term date of June 28th of 2034. She is currently serving a 30-year sentence on the charge of attempted first-degree murder, having been sentenced on March the 7th of 2007. She received a commutation from Governor Edwards for parole eligibility after serving 20 years. Is that information all correct, Ms. Yoakum?
Yes, sir.
Your case has been assigned to Mr. Pete Freeman. He will begin our interview process. Would you please answer any questions he might have?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Yoakum, how old are you?
I am 38 years old.
Okay, and how long have you been in prison on this crime?
19 and a half years.
Okay, and what is your educational level?
I have an associate's degree in general communications.
You finished high school or you took your GED?
No, sir, I got my GED.
Okay, you got it while you've been in prison?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Ms. Yoakum, let's get into the facts. What was your involvement in the case? Tell me exactly what you've done, and I've read all the arrest reports.
I participated in the robbery of Mr. Lionel Payne, and I participated in the death of Mr. Lionel Payne. Me and Daryl had went to rob Mr. Payne that night. He wasn't supposed to be home. When we entered the house, I was to look out in the window, and Daryl was looking around the house for money or whatnot, valuables. While I was in the laundry room, Mr. Payne wound up arriving home, and I notified Daryl that Mr. Payne was home, and I was in the laundry room, and Daryl entered the laundry room, and by this time he had done armed himself with a gun. When Mr. Payne entered the house, I told Daryl now would be a good time to leave, but he told me it was too late for that. So when Mr. Payne entered the house, as he started to walk to the back room, Daryl chased behind him. I was still in the laundry room, but I could hear that they were fighting. He started to scream for me to come out of the laundry room. At first I didn't, but then I did. And I had armed myself with a hammer, and when I went to the room, the gun was on the floor and it was on the bed and they were fighting. And I was trying to separate them. And then I picked up the gun and I was pointing at them. I finally got them apart. Daryl took the gun from me. And he kept telling Mr. Payne to open a safe, And Mr. Payne did open a safe. After Mr. Payne opened a safe, Daryl told me he just wanted to knock him out so we could leave with the hammer. When Daryl hit him with the hammer, he didn't knock out. At that point, Daryl told me to take the money and leave. And I did. When I made it down the front stairs, I heard a gunshot and I came back in the house. And when I went back in the house and I went in the room, Mr. Payne was dead. And I'm so sorry for the part I played in that crime.
Okay, so did you hit him with the hammer?
Yes, sir, I did, during the altercation when they were fighting on the bed. He had kicked me, and I hit him on the leg, and then I dropped the hammer to the floor.
Did you shoot him?
No, sir. No, sir.
Did you hit him with the hammer more than once?
No, sir.
And you claiming you just hit him in the leg?
Yes, sir. When they were fighting on the bed, and I first had went into the room, and they was fighting on the bed, and I was trying to separate them. He had kicked me, and I had hit him on a leg, and I had dropped the hammer on the floor.
Okay, so you reached a plea agreement to testify in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you know the victim before y'all went?
I knew of him, but I didn't know him personally. I had went his bar on one occasion to use the phone, but I never really had his acquaintance or knew him personally.
Okay, you got the sheriff is opposed. Your family is unopposed. Daughter, can't see my writing, but it's Miss Payne. She is greatly opposed. And her son is also greatly opposed. They claim that you had a terrible upbringing. What part do you think that played in this crime?
I think it played a major role in my relationship with Daryl. Not so much the crime, because I think it was just my relationship with Daryl, because I came from an abusive background with a lot of trauma, sexually, physically, and mentally. And I left home young, and I was looking for love. I was looking for attention. I was looking for validation. So I feel like I wound up in this relationship thinking that he was my savior. And I felt like I just owed him so much loyalty because he took me out of a messed up situation, when in all in actuality, I just wound up in another abusive situation. But if you don't know what a healthy relationship looks like, how do you know? So I just felt like he loved me, and by him loving me and giving me the validation I needed, I felt like I owed him everything. So when he decided he wanted to do it, my loyalties told me I had to too.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Now, this is your statement. I changed my statement. I initially blamed Mr. Thompson for shooting Mr. Payne close range in the face, when it was in fact Miss Yoakum shot herself. So you stated that you shot it.
In the beginning, I did state that I shot Mr. Payne. And then I turned around and said that I switched the roles, that he actually did it. But I know in the beginning I made many statements that were untrue. But I'm telling the truth now, because I don't owe him nothing. I owe him no loyalty. I owe him no nothing. I only owe it to myself. And I'm telling the truth.
Yes. What would you say to the victims if you had a chance to talk to them? Direct your comments to the board.
I would say that I know no matter what I do or say, I can never take away the hurt and pain that I have caused them, that I can never fill the void or the emptiness that I have placed in their hearts. And I know that no matter how many times I say I'm sorry, it's like salt to an open wound. But I am deeply sorry. So sorry for the hurt and pain I have caused y'all.
Okay. What classes have you taken? I see you've taken a bunch. Which one you got the most out of?
I would say it would be thinking for a change, and a wellness class that I was currently facilitating. Thinking for a change, because you always look at things from your perspective. Like you look at things from the other person, or what they done, or how they done it, and how they done you wrong. Thinking for a change makes you think about you, your actions, and how you deal with situations, and how you could just take time and breathe and think. Like you don't automatically have to react, and that you don't always have to base your actions off the next person's actions. It's just yours. And then I would say the wellness program, because even though it's an exercise program, it teaches classes, and it's classes on healthy relationships, your mental health, substance abuse. It just zooms in on all that, and it feels good to work on myself while pouring into others. It also shows me how good that exercise is for a person's mental health, and it became a good coping mechanism for me to help me deal with different things I'm going through and how to meditate on them. But it just felt good giving back and pouring into others. And I've recently just started Victim Impact. And I say that the first class was very impactful for me, I guess, because I never looked at things from all different perspectives. We tend to look at things from a very narrow mind. And, I always felt remorse for what I'd done. I know I hurt people that never deserves to be hurt, but I never thought of the bigger picture or the biggest ripple effect that it had, and how it never was a choice for them. It was something that was forced upon them.
Okay. You're gonna be staying with the parole project when you first get out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. They have a job lined up for you?
Yes, sir. I'll be working at Dairy Queens, where my sister is a general manager.
Your last write-up was in 2015, so it's been a while since you had any disciplinary issues. What kind of community service you do around the prison?
I do a lot of faith-based. The wellness program would be one where the community comes in and we teach them classes and do exercise courses with them. But I also was part of a worship art ministry, and we would, like, for the holidays, we go dance for them, or show them movies, give them goods, just to uplift their spirits in a time when I feel like everybody needs it in prison.
Okay. About mental health issues, you have any mental health issues?
I would say yes. I'm not on no drugs or nothing like that for them. I would say that over the years I have suffered with mental health issues, but I would say that during the classes that LCIW has offered me, as far as thinking for a change, MRT, encourage for my life healing choices, I feel like all of them equip me with the tools I need to show me how to decipher my emotions and to work through things.
I have no further questions. Warden, do you have any comments?
As it was previously stated, she's a low risk score. She's currently has a minimum status. So she goes to our headquarters office. She's been helping with that program, which recently started this summer. She has, it's been 8 years that she's been report free, and her previous hearing was 2 years ago. So she's been doing well since then. I'd like to just kind of mention she's had a few more medical issues than mental health issues here recently, and she's had a few hospital stays. So she's trying to get that under control, but she's doing well with all of her classes she's taken.
Any of the medical issues serious in nature?
At times we have the doctor here when she has some flare-ups. Previously, I think she was in the hospital for about a week, some few months back. I guess it's critical until they get the medication straight.
Good morning. She has a history of Crohn's disease. She's had some acute flare-ups where it did require hospitalization because she had gotten dehydrated as well as inflamed. She did require IV antibiotics, and she's had a change in her medication. She had a recent flare-up last week, was hospitalized again, but is all doing better, and will continue to need follow-up with gastroenterology and continued infusions to keep it under control.
Well, and I also see that at one time she lost 17 days of good time, and you wouldn't happen to know what that was about, huh?
I'd say, I could say what.
Yeah, she has the information.
It was for contraband. I had a tongue ring while I was in a facility, and they wrote me up under a contraband report, and so took my days.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
And that was probably prior to the flood, you know,
Right, right. It was because she hadn't had any.
a lot stricter, right?
Yeah.
I just want to make a statement. It looks like the governor signed your clemency on July the 29th of 2022. Is that correct? You don't know the date that he signed it?
I'm not sure, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, I would just want to just kind of state out that you've had to be patient a long time for this day, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
It's just an opportunity for you to put into practice all the things that you've learned.
Yes, ma'am.
Look like you've done that. I just wanted to state that for the record. That's all, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hear from some of your supporters, Mr. Richard Talcott. Yes, sir. Please, if you would state your name and tell us what you'd like us to know.
How you doing? My name is Richard Talcott. I'm Leanne's brother. Me and Leanne talk all the time. We keep a good relationship even throughout our time in prison. Help me, counsel me, and comfort me through my problems at home, even while she's stuck on the inside. Leanne's learned a lot over the years. I think that she realized the mistakes she made and the role she played that put her where she is today. Leanne expresses remorse for her actions all the time. While there's no excuse for the crimes she committed, I know Leanne did struggle a lot as a child and teenager because of home life. We didn't grow up in the same house, but we had the same dad. Our father was a drug addict. He was abusive. He expressed violence. Terrible role model. Me and my siblings had to call the police on him all the time, along with our mother. At the age of 6, 7 years old, multiple times I had to go live with other family members because we didn't have food or electricity due to drug abuse problems within my house with my father, our father. So I know she struggled a lot as a teenager because I did. I'm fortunate to be what I am today. I do believe Leanne is a much better person now. She's matured. She realized the mistakes she made. She's accepted responsibility for the actions that she's played a part in. Throughout her time in prison, she's participated in different positive activities, groups. She's went to class, school. She's got welding certifications, dancing, and she tried to stay in positive movement and motion, even when she was, the entire time she's been in prison. And she's got me, my brother, and my sister's full support, our family. She was able to get out to have everything she needs. After the parole projects, she could come live with me. I own a home. My brother owns a home. My sister owns a home. We're all prepared to help her out with whatever it is that she needs. It's been a long time. She's going to need a lot of support and help. It would mean the world to our family if we could have our sister back. That's all I'd like to say.
Okay, what town do you live in?
I live in Chalmette, Louisiana.
Okay, what parish?
St. Bernard.
What about you?
I live in Monroe, Louisiana, Jefferson.
Jefferson.
And I live in Baton Rouge.
Okay, does she have the option to go to any of them? Yeah.
If I could add, I also own 2 businesses as well. I can hire her on the spot.
Yeah, well, I just, if we grant today, I don't want her in St. Bernard Parish.
Okay.
Thank you. Now we'll hear from Miss Sandra Starr.
Good afternoon. My name is Sandra Starr Pero. Can you see me?
Stand up.
Oh, you can stand right here.
Okay, just sorry, he had to turn.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Sandra Starr Pero, and I'd like to thank you, first of all, for the opportunity to be able to stand right here and for giving me a chance, a second chance at life. So that's why I'm here today to speak on the behalf of Leanne Jokum. Leanne and I had a strong bond in prison, and it continues until this day. Even as I have been out, 3 years, this relationship continues. When I met Leanne, I was a peer minister, and she was a young person who seemed to struggle with adjusting to prison. And as a peer minister, we shared stories, heartache, pain while incarcerated, as well as our hopes of getting out. Leanne and I grew closer. I became like a mother figure to her. Over time, I saw that Leanne began to change mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I saw her struggle through her tears of frustration, whether it was through her vocational classes, the homework, to the tears of joy when she stood up in a leadership role teaching Bible study. Also, as a peer minister, I organized that worship arts ministry that they keep talking about. Leanne joined, she got in, she studied, she worked hard. When I left, she stood up in a leadership role over the entire ministry. And for that, I was so proud of her. She showed patience, love, and support to her peers. The day that I was getting out, I remember walking to the gate, and Leanne came to the gate and said, "Mom, don't forget about me." I turned to her and I said, "Never." That's the other reason I'm standing here supporting her today, fulfilling that statement. I will continue to support her and encourage her. I know that the Parole Project is the best place. And I live around the corner as that second layer of support for her, if she's granted today. So thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now we'll hear from Miss Christy Sheremy.
Good afternoon. Christy Sheremy, leading the Parole Project. Just want the board, especially for the record, to know that we are definitely aware of Ms. Jokum's medical conditions. We are prepared for if there's anything that flames up while she's with us. We're committed to long-term transitional housing. We're not going to put a cap on how long she can stay with us. I know from the experience of being a young lady going into prison, what that looks like for someone now becoming an adult, and what that looks like. And in addition to the family support that she has our support as well. And I will do my best to guide her. And her sister and I has already spoken about the job opportunity, and we're going to have all of those things in line, anticipating that she's granted today. So I just look forward to know that we're definitely supporting this Jokum 100%.
Thank you, Ms. Sherman. Ms. Sims, I assume you would like Ms. Jokum to make a statement, and then you'll close out for us?
Richard.
Yes, please, thank you.
Maybe we already talked, Richard.
We already talked.
That's right.
That's all right.
Richard, you was first. That was making
Ms. Jokum, is there a statement you'd like to make before we let Ms. Sims close it out for us?
Yes, sir. First, I want to say thank you for this opportunity of me being here today. I know that I made plenty of poor decisions that reflect very poorly on my character. And I know that I inflicted hurt and pain upon Mr. Payne's family that they did not deserve, and that I could never change it. And that it also had a rippled effect on my family. And I am so sorry for that. But I have used that moment in my life to constantly reflect on me and to thrive, to become the person I am today. I have took many self-help classes to help recognize my triggers, to help disciple my emotions. I have strived to educate myself from the uneducated woman that I once was, from getting my GED to a trade in upholstery and welding, to my associate's degree, that all help break down the barriers that I have set before myself today. And if I am just given the opportunity, I would love just to pour into my family. I would love just to mend the bridges that I know that I have broken. And to pour into other people that's like me, to let them know they don't need nobody to validate who they are. That all they need to do is look in their self and then love their self, and that they'll be okay. And I thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Appreciate it. Ms. Sims?
Good morning. My name is Danielle Sims, and I'm a student attorney with the Tulane Women's Prison Project, here on behalf of Ms. Jokum. I want to start by acknowledging that Ms. Jokum participated in a horrible crime that resulted in the death of an innocent man. As you can see today, she's deeply ashamed of what she did, and well aware of anything that she has said or ever could say to Mr. Payne's family will ring hollow to them and provide no solace for their grief. We do know today that Ms. Jokum is not the same 18-year-old traumatized girl that committed this crime. As Dr. Sharkey, the DOC chaplain, wrote in her letter of support, she grew up in prison. Prison has been the safest environment she has ever been in, and she's become a model of rehabilitation here. She's become a college graduate, a woman of faith, and a leader. The pardon board recognized this when it unanimously recommended Ms. Jokum's commutation of sentence, and it is even more true so today. Today, I'd like to discuss Ms. Jokum's transformation and her reentry plan. But before I do that, I'd like to briefly touch on a point that arose during the hearing. I wanted to clarify that although Ms. Jokum claimed she was the shooter, the police quickly realized that she was covering for Mr. Thompson. And in the Court of Appeals opinion, it said, quote, Ms. Jokum's boyfriend shot and killed the victim during the robbery of his home. Now moving on to Ms. Jokum's transformation. I know the board has heard and read about Ms. Jokum's childhood and her relationship with Daryl Thompson, but I want to highlight a few aspects of her early life. While Ms. Jokum has no desire to use these circumstances as an excuse, I do think they show just how far she's grown since she committed this crime as a teenager. As a child, Leanne's parents sold drugs out of the family trailer where they lived. Her father would beat her and her mother. Police and court records show that one day Leanne's father came home to the family trailer with a gas canister. He attacked their mother and threatened to light their family home on fire. As a child, Leanne also experienced horrific sexual abuse at the hands of her uncle and her mother's boyfriends. Instead of believing in her and protecting her, Leanne's mother gave her pills and alcohol to quell her emotional response. Dr. Ray Taylor, an expert in domestic violence and child abuse, found that Leanne's early life was one of the worst cases of child abuse she had ever seen. So, Leanne dropped out of school in 8th grade. She ran away from home at the age of 13, and at age 16, she met Daryl Thompson, her co-defendant, who was 23 years old at the time. Leanne was so desperate to escape her home and find safety that she saw Mr. Thompson as her savior. But instead of protecting her, he beat her and controlled her. And Leanne mistook his violence towards her as love, because that's the only type of love that she's ever known. By the time that Leanne committed this crime at the age of 18, she had given up on basically everything in her life. And that's what makes it so remarkable to see who she is today after spending her entire adult life in prison. A thoughtful, hardworking woman of faith. Leanne entered prison as an 8th grade dropout. Today, she's a college graduate. Leanne entered prison angry at the world and distrustful of authority figures. Today, she's a model of rehabilitation who has been trusted to work off-site and has gone with over 7.5 years without a write-up. Leanne entered prison believing she was worthless, confusing abuse for love. Today, she has found purpose through her hard work and her faith. Ms. Jokum has been a leader in many groups, such as the Worship Arts Ministry, the Domestic Violence Program, and the Wellness Program. In the Wellness Program, she emphasizes all aspects of health, including mental health, physical health, relationship issues, and substance abuse. In addition to this personal work, Ms. Jokum has gained important job skills, which will serve her well if released. She's obtained certifications in welding and construction and has applied these to her job at LCIW. Ms. Jokum also has a very strong reentry plan. She will live at the Louisiana Parole Project in Baton Rouge and then with her brother, Richard Talcott, in Chalmette. She has a job waiting for her at Dairy Queen, where her sister Jamie is the general manager. She hopes to later use her welding and construction skills she gained at LCIW to develop a long-term career in those fields. And in terms of Ms. Jokum's medical needs, we've spoken to LPP, and they're very committed to connecting Ms. Jokum's health insurance and to the provider she needs to get the care that she needs for her Crohn's. Ms. Jokum has truly grown up in prison. She has spent her entire adult life here, and through her faith and hard work, has transformed from an angry teenager into a model of rehabilitation. And since the Pardon Board has granted her a commutation in 2021, she's accomplished even more. She's become a college graduate, a leader in the wellness program, and has earned the privilege of working off-site. Based on who Ms. Jokum is today, we respectfully ask the board to grant her parole. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sims. Excellent job.
Yes. Okay, Ms. Jokum, I look at this several different ways. You've served 66% of your time. You've had great classes, good warden's comments, good community service to the prison. My vote today is, if y'all can work it out, that you be granted parole with the special condition that you are not to live in St. Bernard Parish. I hope y'all will be able to work that out somehow. Parole project is good, so you have time to work on it. But I don't want her anywhere around that family or the victims. Okay? And I was going to put on electronic monitoring, but I'm not. I just want them to do their normal evaluation, send her to any treatment, which we will back up.
Ms. Wise?
Likewise, Ms. Leanne, my vote, I concur as well. When we look at where you've come from to who you are today, because of the rehabilitation program you've done, the good support system you have, completing of your GED and your college degree, your vocational training, and no write-ups in over 6 years. So for those reasons, my vote is to grant, and I'd like to see you give back somehow or another. Do some community service starting about 6 months after you're released. You can figure out at least 4 hours a month to give back in some way. Best wishes to you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wise. Ms. Jokum, my colleagues have pretty much stated everything that we talked about here today. So my vote likewise would be to grant with the condition that you go to the Louisiana Parole Project, complete the program. Mr. Do you concur with the stipulation?
Yes, I do.
Okay. The stipulation will be.
The record making Plaquemine Parish as well. It said St. Bernard and Plaquemine. I don't know these things. Okay. Then.
St. Bernard, Plaquemine.
If we victims' family wanted.
Preclude St. Bernard and Plaquemine, y'all will have a place for her when she finishes the parole project.
I'm waiting those families.
Oh, yeah, that's just one.
Okay. So you've been granted your parole to the Louisiana Parole Project. Of course, one of the conditions will be that you follow all of their recommendations and do all of the things that you're supposed to do, and you're not to be allowed to live in either Plaquemine or St. Bernard Parish. Okay. Good luck.
Yes,
to you.
sir.
Thank you. 4 hours of community service work 6 months after you are released. Good luck to you.
Yes. Thank you.